So Dynamite was last night. Got up early for it, you know the drill. The go home before Dynasty, which I did forget about going into it, and we got some shit confirmed, James, after I done my predictions that I didn't even know about. So I was fucking nuts. Let's get into it because I thought it was a solid ass show. So the show opens up with Ospreay attacking Moxley and getting attacked by the Death Riders, and then a black car calls up, as most people do know. I think I said this in my predictions as well. The United Empire, obviously Ospreay asked for assistance after Callum Newman won the IWGP main World Heavyweight title. So the UE and Alex Windsor, which I didn't even realise, I forgot about that link. That's why she's facing Marina Shafir at Dynasty Zero. I was wondering why the hell he just made that match, and I just completely spaced on that link. So it was the United Empire, which was Newman, and then these two other guys whose name I forgot, but Jesus, they're incredible. We'll talk about them in a bit. And then obviously Alex Windsor, and they basically start attacking the Death Riders. It was starting off backstage, then it takes off all the way to the ring, and then Ospreay basically goes, Moxley, you know, I've got back up, you thought this was over. Main event, he basically calls for the match in the main event tonight, which was really cool. And they've done that like 2 weeks on the run now, with Max and Speedball last week, and then obviously this week with the subsequently called Chaos in Canada, which I kind of like the name. It's basically like a mini Stadium Stampede, but just basically fuck it, let's ball. I kind of like it. It kind of gives me that like old 2000s WWE vibe, where it's like, oh, we'll just announce the main event with, you know, Teddy Long, hold on a minute, player, shit like that. I kind of like that, but either way, I thought that was a nice little opening segment. It was nice to see the UE just get formally introduced. I didn't realise, Jesus, Callum Newman was so fucking big. I thought he was still quite small. No, that dude's big, bro, and he's 23, fucking nuts. Great wrestler. I like the presentation of the UE, all in suits, stuff like that. I think this actually really was cool. So I enjoyed that little opening segment. I thought that was really well done, and obviously confirms of a main event involving the United Empire. All for that. After that, though, we actually got Don Callis backstage, where he gives an update on Kyle Fletcher, confirming, obviously, we knew Kyle was injured with torn meniscus. So, unfortunately, the TNT belt has been vacated already, and he confirms that now it's going to be a Casino Gauntlet that decides it at Dynasty, which is very fun, honestly. It's a nice little way. I thought they kind of elongated it. I didn't even think of that option. So they've confirmed that, and he's basically like, oh, basically throws a big spanner in the works. My plan for Dynasty was Proto Okada, which was Okada and Fletcher, obviously versus the Bucks. So now he basically confirms there, well, no, don't worry, the Don Callis family's got alternatives. We're going to do Takeshita and Okada versus the Bucks, and everyone's like, on what planet do you think that's a good idea? But I kind of fuck with that. So either way, they announced that and basically just says, obviously, Kyle's injured. No need to remind me. Fucking breaks my heart. I'm so upset about it. But either way, the Gauntlet of Dynasty should be really good. After that, though, we actually get our first match of the night, which is the trios match with Andrade, in the Don Callis family, Andrade, Mark Davis, and Konosuke Takeshita versus Bandito, who's replacing Brody King, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. This match was it was wild. I couldn't really. It's kind of one of those weird ones. The main things I remember were just Andrade stealing the fucking show again, because he's fucking Andrade, bro. I mean, he just gets, like, obviously he does the Andrade and the Huz spots, that's obvious. But then he just gets off halfway through it. He just leaves. And then Darby grabs the mic and goes, Andrade, get your bitch ass back out and all that. So Andrade walks out and goes, come on, come on. And then Takeshita goes behind Darby as he's walking up the ramp and does like the most disrespectful fucking suplex. You know, where, well, it's like how Takeshita does his suplexes. He does the roll, but then he does another roll, dead slow, and then done the slam. I thought that was really cool. It just looked like, fuck you, in terms of a suplex. That tickled me. From the rest of the match, I mean, Jack Perry does really well, obviously. You know, Bandito's just being there is just incredible. You get Bandito into Takeshita minutes, which obviously their match last year at Supercard of Honor was phenomenal, so I'm always happy to get that little combination. And Mark Davis has a lot of, you know, obviously Mark Davis is great at these matches. I think he really shines in these. I would like to see, again, I'd like to see Mark Davis have a singles match with either three of these guys. I think that would work. Obviously, Takeshita being there. But after the match, so the result, I think it was, I forget who wins, to be honest. I can't lie. I forgot who won. I was watching this very early, and, you know, it's hard to recall everything. So after the match, though, Okada comes out. And Okada and Takeshita get into a bit of a scuffle. And they just start fucking scrapping. They just start hitting each other heavily. It's like, what the fuck? And then everything else comes down. And then, because they're trying to attack the rest of the faces, essentially. And, you know, Okada and Takeshita start, you know, disagreeing. And they start getting fucking their ass beat. Like, full on beating each other up. And then everyone's trying to break it up. And then, so the Rascals come out to make the save. And then when the Rascals come out to make the save, they throw everyone out the ring. And then Takeshita's on the outside, both on the ring, and they're both like hurt. But then Okada goes up. And he's laughing because he gets up first. And starts laughing and puts the middle finger right into Takeshita's face and gets off. And I was like, what the fuck? He's such a petty little fuck. I love Okada, but as a character, I think he's a prick, and I love it. He's funny as hell. That was the match, that was the segment. The main thing is they're really reuniting Takeshita and Okada. Like, it seems like they're really going for that again. I don't know if that was always the plan with Kyle being injured now. But obviously, it's a lot of discussion to be had because a lot of people are kind of over that feud. I'm not. I'm still of opinion it has got a lot of legs. It's got a lot of time to move and, you know, build hype again. But they definitely missed the mark on the original time to bite, you know what I mean? But as an actual match, I mean, I'm always going to enjoy it. They confirm something later, which will be cool. But, yeah, so the match itself, the trios, again, it's kind of hard to recall. It was definitely, you know, it was definitely enjoyable. It was definitely manic, as you expect. The main thing was Andrade, because he's fucking Andrade, what do you expect? He's stealing the show every week. I do like it. But then, obviously, even Takeshita being in these matches, I do like Mark Davis getting more minutes. Mark Davis has been one of your better wrestlers in the entire roster this year. He's been excellent, so I'm happy to see he gets consistent AEW Dynamite minutes. But yeah, as an opener, it was solid. I didn't expect this to open, frankly. I really didn't. But as an actual match, it was actually really good. Really little solid match. Now, after this was fucking weird. We got Doc Samson, fucking AEW's medical doctor, backstage going, he just wanted a minute to confirm that Kenny is okay with the diverticulitis after Max's comments last week. And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to make sure, you know, everyone realised Kenny is okay. I was like, why? Why is this on the... like, that was... I didn't get that. Like, don't get me wrong, if he wanted to request it, I mean, who cares? But it was also like... just a bit, it just felt fucking weird. I just never got that. It was just like, it was dead awkward as well. He was like, I just wanted to confirm that, you know, and then Lexi goes, thank you, and then he just cuts the black. It's like, wasn't really any fun. I thought it was going to be an angle. It's not. It was just fucking, I just didn't get that. It wasn't bad, I just didn't get it. After the break, though, we got Willow versus Queen Aminata for the TBS title match. Obviously, Willow, TBS champion. Aminata's first match in fucking, I don't know how long now. It's been a while. And it's nice to see her back. She looks solid. She looked really good here. The striking's obviously a lot more on point. Willow, I like the presentation more of Willow here. I think she didn't win with a fucking slide, which was great. Aminata's definitely trying for a lot of things. And then when and it's a lot of kickouts. The expressions from Aminata here are excellent. Yeah, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was nice to see Aminata back. They didn't get no Tekla involvement. I was kind of disappointed with that. I thought that was going to be the angle. What I do think with Willow and Aminata here is, I thought that, like, at the start, so Willow puts a hand out to shake her hand, you know, so they go welcome back, and Aminata just smacks it. It's like, not as a heel thing, but they're like, oh, okay. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, Aminata's a face. I don't know what the reasoning was for that. I was like, fighting spirit thing. I don't fucking know. But Aminata obviously do chocolate kisses, which, you know, just Stephanie Valkyrie, people will recognise that move. The chops, the kicks, everything from Aminata looks snappy again, which I've liked. I do like Aminata. She's a lot more striking based. Obviously, she's got that powerhouse in her where she lifts and stuff, but I think she's really good as a striker. I think that's where she's best. Willow, again, doesn't look as... I don't know. I just not liked Willow's presentation, especially with the finish, the last few defenses. Just because, obviously, I don't like the slide as a finisher. I think that's fucking stupid. And now she wins with a little powerbomb. Basic Willow powerbomb. It looks way better. It wasn't like a big, you know, build to it or anything. It was a smaller powerbomb, but it's better than the slide. Because they go for the slide and they do have a kick out. And I was like, thank God for that. Because it didn't feel like a finishing sequence at all there. During the match... Sheeda's out, like, not in the crowd, but, like, you know, she's in the crowd, but not. It's weird, like, where John Moxley makes his entrance for the Death Rider shit, like, there, she's just standing there, and the light's on, and she's just watching the match. And it's like, she doesn't, like, get involved. She's got, like, you know, mistake. It's just Sheeda, so she looks like Sheeda's fully back, not just a one-off. which is cool. I'm happy for that. Obviously, they put over Willow's the person who's putting over returning talent. It's going to be Britt Baker one of these days, and I will not be thrilled. Shida's there. Willow wins and stares out Shida, so I don't know if they're going to try and build that more. Hopefully, I don't know. But Aminata being back was really cool. She looked good here. I hope there's more for her. That's the thing. I hope they try and give these women now, especially with Aminata and Shida, two bigger hitters, a bit more of a direction in the women's division, because I feel like if you're not in a title picture with the women, you're fucked. And that may be excluding the fucking Sisters of Sin stuff, so, because Statlander's not really doing much at the minute. Obviously, you know, Tony's out, Mina's trying to do that whole thing, Jamie Hayter, you know, there's stuff going on, but I feel like it just needs more bodies, and I feel like that'll benefit, so I hope they give them a bit of a direction and a bit of stuff to do. So, after this, actually, we got a small little MJF history hype package about, like, how Max has impacted AEW and his history with AEW. It wasn't a generic hype package. I really fucking liked this. I thought this was really cool. It really adds that big build, that big fight feel. They do one for Kenny later in the show, which I really enjoyed, so it, like, kind of symmetries it. But I really enjoyed this. I hope they do more of this. I thought that was a really good idea. I thought it pays off. I hope they do more of this shit, because it was, like, it was normally hype packages a bit like, oh yeah, whatever, we know, you know what I mean, I watched it last week. But it's like, this one was like, okay, let's just give a little recap on MJF as a whole, and then obviously with Kenny as a whole. I really fucking enjoyed that. I thought that was a nice little way to build the match even more. So I thought that was, I hope they do more shit like that, definitely. I think that was cool. After that, though, we actually get our Chris Jericho returning Town Hall promo. So obviously Jericho returned last week, and this is where he's got something to say. He comes out, he gets a big pop again. And I think he's definitely surprised by the pop, and he's there going, I'm here to sign my AEW contract, and he puts it over that, you know, he loves AEW, you know what I mean, he loves professional wrestling, he really respects it, and he does say something that's interesting. He says, you know, I've done some great things, but I've also had some stinkers, let's be honest. So I think he's acknowledging that, like, the last few months before he went away was shit. Shock. I loved the learning tree, but it was not great. in ring especially, Jesus. But he looks a lot better. He looks a lot better physically. He does. And he basically puts over that, like, I'm not bothered where I am on the card. If I'm on 0 Hour, if I'm on Dynamite, if I'm on pay-per-views, I don't care. Even if I'm not on the show at all, I don't care. I just love this company. I love this business that I help found in terms of AEW. I was like, that was really cool. And he says, I'm going to sign my contract in front of everyone. So he goes to sign his contract. And then Ricochet, as soon as Ricochet's music hits, I was like, that is a good call. That's a good call in terms of those characters working with each other. So Ricochet comes out with the demand. Well, I always say Ricochet and the demand with the Gates of Agony as the demand, all three of them. And then basically he goes, Chris, look, all respect, you know what I mean? But, like, what are you still doing here? Don't sign that contract. No one needs you. No one misses you. You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed this. I've been carrying it like you're saying you did. And if we wanted to take you out, Bishop Khan would have. And I was like, why are we saying about that Khan? Like, fucking Totally Owner's the mad one. I know we want to put Khan over, and I like Bishop Khan. But she's Totally Owner's the one who goes, you get knocked down, like, every week. So, like, I didn't get that. But, and then Jericho goes, well, okay, maybe you're right, but maybe. And then he gets the clipboard, obviously, and he goes, I'm just going to do something to you. No, it was because Ricochet takes his hat off, to be sincere, and he goes, boy, are you bald. I thought that was pretty funny. I knew he was going to say that. And then, obviously, the crowd goes, bald, all stuff like that. And then Jericho goes, well, Ricochet, you know what, maybe you're right, but I'm just going to do something. Then he goes, Ricochet, I've got a clause in this contract where it gives me a chance to pick whoever I want for Dynasty. And I'm going to give you get back to you when I think about it. He turns and goes, okay, I'm back, I want to fight you. It's like, okay, that was pretty funny. And then basically he goes, also, Ricochet, I'm going to do something I haven't done for 10 years, so give me a minute. Gets the clipboard, rips the AEW thing off, it says Jericho on it. It's obvious what they're doing. He goes, Ricochet, you just made the list. And then obviously the crowd pops huge to the list. I don't know if this is going to be the new gimmick. Seems a bit weird. I hope it's, if I'm honest, I like the list version of Jericho. I thought that was really funny. Obviously work with Kevin Owens as everything does. But it was just, I don't know, because Jericho's always said he doesn't want to go back on gimmicks. That's why he never wanted to be called Y2J, stuff like that. And, like, I just don't know. I think that was, I don't know if this is him going back on that, or, you know, basically doing his retirement run where he rolls back the hits. If that is the case, I'm not against that at all. I'm not against it anyway. I want to know the reasoning if this is the full-time thing with the list. I think the list was good, so I'm not against it. But I think, overall, I think this could definitely be, it could be interesting. It definitely could be interesting. But him and Ricochet are getting the match on Dynasty. I wonder how that goes. I want to see how Jericho handles it. Ricochet is such a reliable guy because you know how good he is. So I want to see if Ricochet is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. But either way, that was the segment. Jericho obviously gets a big pop. That was pretty nice again to see. Jericho is getting adored. Obviously confirms. And then the list is back as the main thing. The list is back, it seems. So after this, we actually get Don Callis, all of the family who is fit, backstage. And basically, he goes on to confirm about his plan for the Bucks versus Okada and Takeshita match. And Takeshita instantly, I love this, he goes, no, 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 no. And then Don Callis basically goes, what do you mean, no? Like, there's only one person, you know what I mean? I'm the coach, you're the team, follow my rules. And then he goes, well, I'm not teaming with him. And he goes, look, this is for Kyle, or for Kyle, you know what I mean? And then Takeshita basically goes, okay, but I want a shot at his belt. And Don Callis is like, fine, whatever, fine. I want you to go to be like Scotty and Scott Pippen and Jordan. I want you to be like that. You know what I mean? And then Takeshita goes, fine, okay, as long as I get, basically, Callis goes, if you beat the Bucks, you get a shot at Okada's belt, the international belt, after it. And it's like, okay. And then after it, so he goes, shake hands, and they go to shake hands. They actually shake hands. I thought Okada was going to swerve it again. And then he go dead close, so Okada rags him close and goes, you're Pippen, I'm Jordan. I'm like, fuck off. He's such a bitch. I love him. Then he kicks off and everyone's like, whoa. Everyone's trying to keep it down. Andrade could not give a fuck. He's like that. He couldn't give a shit. Oh, I love him. And yeah, that was it. So to confirm the match again, I love that. I thought they should have just had Takeshita go, no. And that would have been basically, okay, he's out. Like, that should have, not maybe a backstage segment, but you know what I mean? Instigating that is happening. Yeah. The fact that Takeshita's getting the international belt shot will be very interesting. Because if they beat the Bucks, obviously it's there. But I think something will go awry. But either way, very interesting step. But you know what I mean? I thought that was a very interesting direction to go with it. And I kind of like it. I loved how Takeshita just went, no. So next, I didn't fucking know about this for my predictions. This is the most me match of the fucking while. Obviously, sound the Dorada alarm. Fucking Dorada versus Ciampa just randomly on. I didn't know this, so I didn't check. I done predictions, watched the match, and then come back and went to bed. And then when I went to bed, I was like, I'm not going to even check if they've announced anything, or, you know, and then I just watched Dynamite as soon as I wake up. Bro, I'm just watching, I'm like, oh, Ciampa's got a match, that's pretty cool. I didn't know Ciampa was good. I said to myself, I thought he was a Collision Cowboy, what the fuck? And then Dorada, I'm like, what the fuck? I instantly sat up, that was hilarious. Oh my god, I couldn't believe this shit, I really couldn't. It's a great match, it really is. This could have, if it wasn't for the Canada match, it would have been match of the night. It was really good, had a bit of life to it. Ciampa, obviously, this was for the first entrance at the TNT Championship Casino Gauntlet, which I thought was fun. This I really liked. I liked it. I thought I thought Ciampa was a lot more heelish here, but not in the sense of like, fuck you. It was just more like he is a lot more heelish, where Dorada's beating his ass, he'll just take out, and then Dorada's looking pissed. Dorada's aerial game's obviously insane. The athleticism of both men. Ciampa looks a lot more lethal in terms of his strike and his maneuver and everything about it. Like, both of these guys perform exactly what you expect with both of these guys. I didn't think Dorada's speed was normally what it is, but I don't know if there was a reason for that. Dorada's just phenomenal. I'm never going to complain about the guy. I just can't believe this just happened. And then, basically, Ciampa gets the win. He's looking at the belt, stuff like that. One thing he does in the match, he gets Dorada and just slams his head on the table, and he goes, sorry, Tony. Like that or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was good. This one was good. I really enjoyed this. It was exactly what you expect for these two guys. The styles didn't really change much about each other. Again, Dorada's speed was kind of slowed down, but there's nothing wrong with that because he moves at such a quick pace. Jesus, it was good. It was really good. Yeah, honestly, would have been match tonight. It wasn't main event. Ciampa does get the win. He's really teasing that TNT belt win. He could win it. I wouldn't be against him winning it, to be honest. The only one who seems like he had a bit of direction with the TNT belt before Kyle's injury. It makes sense. But either way, the match, I haven't got too much to say because it was so, not brief, but like, just saying what you expect from these two guys sums it up perfectly in the best possible way. It's a really good match. It wasn't match of the night, which is very rare from a Dorada match on Dynamite, but that's because the main event was really fucking good. So either way, this one was really good. Just really happy to see it, to be honest. I was just excited to see this one. And yeah, hopefully Dorada's still in the TNT Gauntlet. I hope that is still a thing. After this, we actually got the dogs attacking the Roddy and Cassidy last backstage. He's following their little feud. It's David Finlay Clark and Gabe, and they basically go, the dogs are back, watch out, you know, shit like that. They're probably going to continue them and their Cassidy and Orange. So honestly, I think either Briscoe or a Kyle retain is very soon. So I feel like that's, or even maybe not a hologram. They will be doing more with Elclon, but yeah, I feel like that's definitely on the cards. So I feel like that's what they're going to try and build with those three. Yeah, basically nice. I was going to say nice to see them, but they're basically saying, everyone watch out, we're on notice. Okay, Gabe Kidd is there. Maybe not going to be noticing. After that, though, we actually get Tekla backstage, where she cuts a promo on Jamie Hayter and calls, so she's calling them all dumbest bitches alive. I just love Tekla, bro. I'm so happy. I just love her. She's great. I was happy to see her to get the promo. She was on her own as well. No Sisters of Sin. And she goes, Tekla, Hayter, you're one of the dumbest bitches alive. And basically, continue goes, we've had our matches, you know what I mean, you beat me, but, you know, I'm a different Tekla, I'm champ now, what are you doing? And she basically goes, you're now one of the dumbest bitches alive, but you will be the dumbest bitch dead. And I thought that was a really good way to say that. I thought that was a really good, like, a little play on words, stuff like that. I thought that was really fun. Basically, all she says, but, like, fuck it, I love Tekla, she's great. Just happy to see her on fucking Dynamite, to be honest, now, on Collision. Really happy to see her on Dynamite. After this, we actually get our FTR, well, Cope and Christian promo, which calls out FTR, obviously. So what? So basically, they come out and basically, because obviously it's in Canada, I'm like, oh shit, and they're talking about, you know, their history again, once again, you know, saying, we're gonna beat your ass, and then Christian rolls it back and goes, everyone keep down while I conduct my business, and then he basically goes, he basically says, Cash and Dax, we're basically at your hometown. I went to go see your mothers. And everyone's like, well, and he goes, don't let that be mistaken. I mean, I banged your moms. I was like, fuck off. And then he goes, Stokely, I don't want to bang your mom yet. I want to wait until I'm going to bang her as tag team champion. And I thought that was just fucking sick. Christian's been the best thing. I love Christian. You don't realize how much you miss him. He's so fucking good. Then FTR come out. And while, you know, obviously they're trying to attack. And then when they go to attack, RPG Vice are there. Obviously, Cope and Christian actually attacked RPG Vice last week. So there's clearly something going on. And then they make, so they attack them as well. So it's a 4-on-2, essentially. 5 if you include Stokely. Stokely hits a spear on Edge. I forgot about that. Stokely gets FTR to pull him up because Christian's taken out by the RPG Vice. And they lift Edge up. Stokely's going like that and spears him. And like they full on sell it. Because I thought they were just going to have Stokely ricochet off it. I thought that was going to be funny as hell. Just the fact Stokely did a fucking spear tickles me. Yeah. And basically that was it. FTR stand up tall, you know, didn't really say much. And then just get off. You know, attacking them, basically saying see you at the pay-per-view, shit like that. And that was that segment. It just builds their feud. Their feud doesn't need a lot more building, so it's definitely at not a boiling point, but you know, it's got a lot. It feels like they're just getting time to go, don't forget this is happening. But you know what I mean? Like, we've got a lot of build now for this feud, so I'm not that's a problem. It's just you get the odd feud that's like that. Yeah. So the RPG Vice having an involvement here was really good, though. I enjoyed that a lot. Actually, I thought that was a definitely good call because obviously you don't want to just have that left on notice, especially for the Don Callis family members. That makes sense. So that was really good. I enjoyed that they actually brought them back in. But yeah, Christian's banging mums now, not just being dads. He's banging mothers. What a guy. So after this, we actually got Darby Allin backstage, which he's calling out, obviously, the title. I think he was calling out Andrade. Yeah, he was calling out Andrade for the match for him on Dynasty, saying, Andrade, you think you're a world title contender. What about me? I need to prove that. I don't want to be one of those guys that's not like that. You know, basically building their match. Essentially not much by Darby. I'm not a big fan of Darby on the mic a lot of the time. I think he can come off very much like you're just rambling. And that's coming from me. The guy who literally makes videos called rambling about. So, yeah, I weren't really into Darby stuff, but again, it's early, it might be on me, but he basically is just calling Andrade out saying, look, I need this win to prove that I am an AEW world champion because I can't represent this company if I haven't beat you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, fair. I get it. But again, their match hasn't had a lot of build. I feel like they could have had a one-on-one segment properly, but I don't know. I feel like it's not really a big feud. It's just a match of consequence. So either way, Andrade should fucking beat his ass. But either way, Darby was there. Fun. So So after this, we actually got our main event, which was Chaos in Canada match between the Death Riders, which was Moxley, Pac, Claudio, and Garcia. No Yuta. I don't know where Yuta was, actually. Marina's there too, but she's not in the match. And it's obviously against the United Empire, as confirmed at the start, which was Ospreay, IWGP World Champion Callum Newman. Again, that dude's fucking huge. And the other dudes, I went to go and look their names up. It's because they were really good. Akira and Henry. Or I think it's pronounced like Henry or some shit, but, you know, spelled a bit differently. This match fucked. This was really good. I mean, Claude, like, there's tables involved a lot, which I didn't expect. A bit of weapons. Alex Windsor comes out because Marina's there, but then she runs out of nowhere to come drag Marina out, which was really fun. So I enjoyed that. I think that was definitely... I'm enjoying that makes sense to me now. I just didn't at the start, but they make sense. So I really enjoy that now, that little idea. Bro, Akira and Henry fucking steal the show. I mean, Jesus. Whoever the smaller white guy is, I think that's Henry, not Akira. Jesus, he is phenomenal. He's so quick. He's so good. Like, bro, he's like... There's something there with him. And then the other guy, I think it was Kira, who's like the bigger dude, who's got like, I think he's Samoan or some shit. No, he was, I forget what they said he was from. He had like a back, it was a weird haircut and stuff. He's quite big, he's darker skinned. He's fucking sick too. Those two, I've not watched the United Empire. I've still not watched Sakura Genesis yet. I haven't. I watched one match of United Empire recently, which was Wrestle Kingdom with Andrade, when Andrade was there. So, I thought this fucked. I really enjoyed all the United Empire here. I liked Newman and Ospreay's little chemistry. Garcia looked good here. I thought Garcia looked a lot... We didn't get a lot of Pac. I thought we'd get more of Pac, and we don't. Get a little segment with him and Ospreay. Because I would kill for Pac and Newman to have a thing. That would fuck. But, yeah, Moxley obviously having a lot of involvement. Moxley and Newman have a good little moment. That's where I realised how Newman was that big. Because Newman stands up to Moxley. Because it was that Akira, the Henry, whatever, the white one. And he goes up to Moxley, and Moxley's like, look, and I'm going like that, doing the crackhead thing. I'm like, fuck off. And then basically they start striking. He's fucking quick. I love that guy. And then Newman comes up out of nowhere, and Newman stands up, and they're both the same height. And bear in mind, Moxley, even seeing Moxley in person, big ass dude, bro. Fucking huge. So I didn't realise Newman was that big. And he's broad, he's weighty. I didn't realise Newman had that much on him. Obviously, Ospreay gets a lot of, a lot of attention here, as you expect. He does a lot. There's a lot of times where him and Newman both do, like, similar, like, dives at the same time. Both do Os cutters. There's a brutal paradigm shift Moxley hits one of them with. It was brilliant. There's a point, so obviously they set the tables. So Claudio gets put through a table. Claudio feels like it. I think Claudio got injured earlier on, but he still carries on because he's the fucking guy. And then he does, Claudio does the giant swing to Ospreay. But Ospreay doesn't do the hands like that. He's just waving the hands like that. So that was pretty wild. That Akira, the darker skin one, he and Claudio had a great chemistry. A really good chemistry there. Obviously, Moxley and Newman have a great chemistry. There's chemistry all around here. And I really enjoyed that. I think this is definitely a way to go. I hope this is not the last. I know they're going to be building Forbidden Door. And obviously the feud with Ospreay and Newman, which will eventually happen. But Jesus... Just this United Empire is excellent. I really fucking enjoyed these guys. I didn't expect to enjoy them this much, especially after a Dorado match. That's how you know I enjoyed it. Fucking Dorado had a match against Ciampa of all people, two people I really fuck with, and the match was sick. And this was match of the night. That's what I enjoyed. I really enjoyed this match. What I did like was so towards the end, so like Newman and Ospreay do have this chemistry where they're both doing the same things. Obviously, as Newman is his understudy, essentially, was protege Morava, and then after that. They get the kickouts and stuff, and then there's a point where Ospreay's hitting the table and Moxley's about to, if it was Claudio, Moxley's there, but Claudio's about to put Ospreay through the table, and then it was Kira, I think it was Kira, the darker skin one, and he takes Claudio out, saving him. So I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool. But they give Newman the win over Ospreay. I thought that was really good. Not over Ospreay, over Moxley. I thought that was really cool, and obviously that sets up the match for Dynasty, where they're standing tall. The Death Riders look a bit disheveled, and you know, it's like basically it looks much better that Ospreay's got these friends. Honestly, like, I enjoyed the Moxley and Ospreay feud a bit, but I feel like this really give it the shot and the arm it needed in terms of interest. Ospreay feels like he's truly back. Not that he never, but it feels like, okay, Ospreay's back to what he was. Obviously Newman's excellent here. I mean, Jesus, the guy isn't the youngest IWGP champ ever for no reason. And again, Henry and Akira just fucking steal a show. I mean, genuinely do. Like, you expect Newman to be, like, unbelievable. There's a lot of hype around Newman. But, Jesus, Akira and Henry just fucking... Oh, my God. Genuinely, what fucking way. Because I hope we get to see them. Hope they show up on, like, a collision, you know, randomly or something like that. Honestly... When they eventually do Forbidden Door, I know they're going to do Newman as a singles, obviously. You get them two involved, bro. I don't give a fuck. Get them two involved. They're fucking phenomenal. Really good work, because I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this match. I hope we get more of the UE. I want to see how they really do this Ospreay and Newman story. I want to see if that's more New Japan, more AEW focused. I want to see how that progresses. But either way, easily match of the night. Definitely deserving of the main event. Builds Moxley and Ospreay. It's the most interested I've been in Moxley and Ospreay now since. So it's really good. I like this. This could fuck. I really enjoyed this. Definitely way for the main event. Loved it. So after this, we actually get our small little Kenny hype package similar to the Max one. I thought that was really fun. Obviously, goes on more his DDT and his New Japan career. And then it cuts to Kenny. Then we have Kenny's Town Hall, where Kenny's basically going, you know, he's nostalgic for Canada. And he was like going, I nearly lost my cool if it wasn't for Speedball the other week. I wonder why. And then he was like, I don't know why I wanted to see it. It wasn't the Ibushi thing. It wasn't the diverticulitis thing. And it's basically just saying there was the AEW World Championship. You know, and he just wants people to think, like, you know, I think he was worried that he hasn't got it left, but he has, you know what I mean? It was one of them situations. I didn't really get what he was saying, to be honest. But then Max obviously comes out, and him and Max have a little bit of a, you know, 1v1 little promo, which I thought was fun. Max basically says, Kenny, you know, end of the day, you reminded people of our match. And when we had our match, I beat you. Don't forget that. Stuff like that. Basically goes on, Kenny, end of the day, you're not better than me now. You're not better than me. At this point no more. You're not. You was maybe, but not anymore. I'm better than you, and you know it. Shit like that. And then Kenny goes, Max, I learn something new about every day. All I'm saying is with you, I know you honor that. That championships means a lot to you. So before we have our match on Sunday, I'd like to shake your hand in the tradition of the AEW World Championship just for a picture. You know, basically bigger it. And then when he puts his hand out, Max turns, throws the mic, and then just doesn't even do it. Then goes to attack Kenny. Then Kenny dodges it, hits a great V-trigger. And Max is knocked out. And he goes, Max, you're becoming too predictable. Stuff like that. And he goes, Dynasty, you best not be that predictable. And then he goes up and takes the ring. So I thought he was going to pocket the ring. And I was like, that's a really good idea if he pockets the ring. So then Max doesn't have that as crutch. But then he just does the ring to basically go, after Sunday, I'm going to be champ. I'm not going to be doing this as Jew. I'm going to be favouring everyone as the new champ. And then he goes, good night, good one, but kisses the ring and then does the ring instead of the bang. I thought that was really cool. But then gives him the ring back, which was fucking silly. Waves goodbye. And that was the promo. It was a good promo. I'm definitely paraphrasing a lot. But the promo I really enjoyed. The knocking out's the main thing. Obviously, Max lying down, the go home, you know, obvious. But either way, I'm looking forward to Max and Kenny a lot. I feel like this is definitely a really good build. I think it's definitely been a lot. It's a very tough one to call. I can't wait to do the predictions on it. The more I think about it. But the actual promo was good. Kenny getting a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Just him and Max have a good chemistry in terms of the promos. I really do enjoy it. He shouldn't have given the ring back. That's fucking stupid. If I'm honest, I hope the finish involves the ring. I do. But either way, the match is going to be excellent. It was a good way, obviously, to end off Dynamite. I feel like they could have switched the main event. I feel like the main event match should have been last and this, but I get it. It's the World Championship. It's going to be. But either way, I thought this was good. And it was a great way to end Dynamite. Definitely. Really fun. So yeah, that was the end of the show. I enjoyed Dynamite this week a lot. I thought it was really fun. I thought there was a lot of interest going on. I thought obviously Kenny had a good moment. The United Empire stuff steals it. Absolutely steals it. Everything else just feels like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to just, you know, do this. The main thing we get news on is it obviously, you know, the United Empire do appear. But then obviously the Kyle Fletcher stuff with the Dorada and Ciampa match. That was excellent. The trios match at the start was pretty good. Takeshita and Okada have that thing obviously for Dynasty. There's a lot of small things. I would have liked to have a bit more like, this is happening for Dynasty. I feel like that's the thing it missed out on. But as an actual show, the wrestling was good. obviously, you know, the United Empire stuff really does steal the show. It feels like that is the definite focus of the night, and it definitely works. I feel like we could have given Tekla a bit more time, maybe. And would have had Hayter face off against her. Windsor and Marina maybe having a... I know they had a great... That was great how they did that, but I would have liked to... I hope they get something on Collision, maybe, just to confirm a bit more about that, you know, see what, you know, what the base is saying, because that was a bit out of nowhere, but that link with Ospreay and the Death Riders makes a lot of sense. Overall, solid show. Definitely a great go-home Dynamite. It definitely was. For a go-home as well, you got to expect go-homes are going to be a lot more promo-heavy, and it definitely was a lot more promo-heavy. I like that there still was, like, you know, the Canada match again saves the entire card. Not that the card was bad. The Ciampa versus Dorado match was great, and so was the trio. So was the Willow match, admittedly. It's nice to see Amanata back. It wasn't bad matches, but there wasn't that, you know, as a Dynamite gets of quality, and I feel like it did miss on that without the Canada match. But either way, great go home. That kind of match again fucking rips. And either way, I really enjoyed this. Really solid Dynamite. Good as shit. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Dynamite this week. What was your thoughts on the show? What did you think of the United Empire? That's the main thing. And how good do you think that Akira and Henry are? Because Jesus Christ, fucking unbelievable workers.